From the Samsung Production Studios in the heart of Hazleton, Pennsylvania, it's your News 13.
Brought to you by SSPTV and the Standard Speaker.
The governor tours two areas in our region that were devastated by flooding brought by Hurricane Irene last year. He looks at flood prevention improvements that are in place just in time for what could be another violent storm. Good evening and thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Kristen Bazinski. It was a trip to make sure that the area is safe and secure from flooding along rivers and streams, and new protection measures may have to be used in the next few days. Today, Governor Tom Corbett, along with PEMA Director Glenn Cannon, visited the Bloomsburg area to tour businesses to check up on the recovery efforts. It was a little over a year ago when the governor was flying over Bloomsburg to view the devastation left behind by Tropical Storm Lee and Hurricane Irene. The Bloomsburg Fair was actually canceled last year due to the devastation. While he was here today, the governor spoke about preventative efforts people should be taking this week as Hurricane Sandy gets closer to the area.
Storms that are to be taken seriously. It's still very early. This is a time to start preparation in case the storm hits full magnitude up in this area, and this is a time to start preparing. I would initially say you want to prepare to be stay at home. Don't get out on the roads if the storm's real bad. Stay away from low water crossing areas.
The governor also toured other parts of our area today, including 40 Forts Levee and the West Pittston area, which does not have flood protection and was inundated by flood waters from the Susquehanna River. Sandy may sound like a sweet name, but not when it's attached to a major hurricane, which is barreling in our direction. While hurricane forecasters still are not sure exactly where Hurricane Sandy will track, the closer we get to her arrival early Tuesday, the more likely it appears that she will pass through at least a portion of northeastern Pennsylvania. Experts say that Sandy is a hybrid storm, which will pack heavy winds, plenty of rain, and perhaps even snow if she runs into colder temperatures. They're warning that everyone along her path be ready to deal with flooding and power outages. The American Red Cross has these suggestions to make it through the storm safely. Build a storm emergency kit, which should include a 3-day supply of water per person, plenty of non-perishable food, flashlights, a battery-operated radio, and of course a first aid kit. They also recommend you find out what the emergency plan is for your local community in case of flooding or a prolonged power outage, and to make sure everyone in your family knows about it. And they say, don't forget to make plans to take care of your pets should there be an emergency. For more tips on how to get through the storm, log on to redcross.org. Come Monday, Hazleton will have a new city administrator. Hazleton's mayor took things into his own hands and appointed Steve Hahn after city council could not come to an agreement. It's the last day on the job for Mary Allen Lieb. In just 3 days, Director of Public Transit Steve Hahn will take her position as Hazleton City Administrator. The decision didn't come so easy, however. Mayor Joe Iannuzzi was forced to make the call after City Council members voted against the idea 3-1.
And Monday we won't have a city administrator, which causes a lot of hardship for the city because everything goes through the administrator, even the signing of checks for payroll for any accounts payable. So rather than have that, I decided to appoint Steve Hahn as acting administrator.
Mayor Iannuzzi says Hahn is the man for the job and has also used his powers to appoint Ralph Sharp as acting director of transit. The new positions still have to be approved by City Council. That vote will come on November 8th. Despite calls for a delay, a federal judge says former state senator Rafael Musto should report for trial as scheduled next month. Musto's lawyers had told the court that the former senator was too ill and frail to withstand a trial on charges that he accepted tens of thousands of dollars in services in cash in response for supporting several projects. Now, you're looking at video from 2010 when he was arraigned on the charges. Federal Judge Richard Caputo now says he believes that measures such as taking breaks and having medical personnel on hand will allow him to get through the trial. He ordered jury selection to begin on November 26th. Earlier this week, Musto showed up in court unassisted for his arraignment on additional charges. Investigators say it was the largest heroin bust in a long time, and it's all thanks to teamwork by Hazleton area police departments and special drug agents. The roundup started in West Hazleton. Now, these two men who made a living out of selling drugs are behind bars, put out of business Wednesday night. The heroin operation was being run by 25-year-old Joshua Jimenez, who lives on Grant Street in Hazleton, and 20-year-old Vencil Nunez from New York. Investigators uncovered more than 800 baggies of heroin worth almost $10,000, along with other drugs, thousands of dollars in cash, and weapons. Tips from the public helped bring this drug operation to a close, but we're told the investigation continues and more arrests are coming. Up ahead on News 13, something new on News 13 kicks off as we check in with Chief Frank D'Andrea from the Hazleton City Police Department. It's called Chief's Corner, and tonight the top cop focuses on keeping all the trick-or-treaters safe in their search for goodies. Later, the city will have someone in the administrator's seat come Monday morning. That controversial move by the mayor, who used his executive power. It's time for the Movie Minute on News 13, your weekly look at what's playing inside Regal Cinema 10 just outside the Laurel Mall. And just in time for Halloween, comedy Fun Size hits the big screen this weekend. A girl gets the invite she's been waiting for to a party thrown by a guy she likes. But when she's put in charge of her oddball little brother for the night, he wanders off. And if horror films are more your speed, then make sure you check out Silent Hill 2, also in 3D, opening Friday night. In addition to the holiday flicks, buy your ticket to see Cloud Atlas with Tom Hanks or Chasing Mavericks, a surfing movie with Gerard Butler. For all the show times at Regal Cinema 10, call 450-7454, or to speak to a movie attendant, call 450-7340, and to find the entire Regal Cinema schedule, movie showing times, and more, visit our website at SSPTV.com.
Hi, I'm Chief Frank D'Andrea of the Hazleton City Police Department. Halloween could be a magical and exciting time for children. Sometimes we get so caught up in the magic of a moment, we fail to remember simple safety rules. Trick-or-treating shall be allowed within the city of Hazleton Wednesday, October 31st, 2012, from 5 p.m. until 8 p.m. In an attempt to keep Halloween safe and fun for everyone, here are some simple safety tips for everyone to remember. Adults, never allow young children to trick or treat alone. Instruct your children to trick or treat in groups and never go out alone. Stick to well-illuminated areas and do not go into alleys or dark neighborhoods. Have a trusted adult accompany your children. Instruct your older children to take friends when trick-or-treating. Teach your children to never enter the home of a person they do not know and never enter anyone's home without your permission. This year, to ensure we respect the privacy of everyone, the only houses that trick-or-treating is allowed at shall be those with a porch light on. Please make sure to respect others' privacy. Teach your children to never approach a vehicle alone. Have children wear reflective clothing and carry flashlights or glow sticks. Make sure masks do not block your child's clear view of where they walk and that their costumes are not too bulky to prevent safely walking. Ensure your children's costumes are marked as flame retardant. Remind older children that if something bad is occurring, to shout loudly, help or fire, or anything to get another person's attention. If you're going to have pumpkins outside of your house, use glow sticks to illuminate them and not open flames. No matter how quaint this sounds, tell your children no eating candy until it is all inspected at the end of the night by an adult. When inspecting candy, never allow your children to eat any fruits or items that are homemade or not professionally wrapped unless they came from a family member or trusted friend. Instruct older children that it is never okay to harm an animal during the Halloween season. Following these simple safety tips will allow everyone to enjoy the holiday and remain safe. The Hazleton Police Department reminds everyone that if there is a problem, to immediately contact 911. By following these simple tips, Halloween should be a safe and enjoyable season for everyone.
Who says you have to be in elementary school to have a Halloween parade? The young at heart, folks who are members of the Hazleton Senior Center, never need encouragement to have fun, and today they strutted their stuff in the spirit of the holiday. Prizes were awarded for the best costumes, but nobody left empty-handed. The big party included plenty of Halloween treats, and of course there was plenty of music, and whether in costume or not, everybody was invited to cut the rug. On your screen right now, your winning midday lottery numbers. Good luck if you played. Your daily number, 242, Big 4, 6869, Quinto, 32712, and Treasure Hunt, 2, 4, 15, 28, 30. Again, good luck.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's social news. First tonight, happy 100th birthday to Margaret Meisberg. This wish comes with love from your family and friends. Also tonight, happy belated birthday to Heather Carol Morrow from nanny, son Jonathan, and husband Andy. Happy birthday, Patricia Reno, from your family and friends. And in tonight's Talk of the Town report, McAdoo Catholic will be holding a haunted house Sunday, October 28th from 4 to 8 p.m. at the church at Washington and Cleveland Streets in McAdoo. Other Halloween happenings include spooky stories and free refreshments at the Cunningham Borough Building Sunday at 6:30. This event is normally held at the cemetery but has been moved due to the weather. Be sure to stop by for pumpkin carving and a raffle. And finally, Schuylkill Make a Difference Day, hosted by New Life Shop, will be held Saturday, October 27th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Located in Pottsville, they will be giving away free winter coats for the entire family. For more information, please give them a call, 570-624-7044. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. John Felter, formerly of Nuremberg. Separate services will be held in Georgia and Florida. No local services were announced. Ursula Kerwich of Weatherly. Private arrangements are being handled by the Philip J. Jeffries Funeral Home. George Plevel of Harding. Mass will be held at the convenience of the family. Friends may call Sunday from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Metcalf Shaver Kopska Funeral Home. Rose M. Mulhern, formerly of Hazleton. Mass will be held Monday at 10 a.m. at the St. Peter and Paul Church in Tamaqua. Friends may call Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. at the Lamar Christ Funeral Home. Eugene John Marhelko of Zion Grove. Funeral is Monday at 10 a.m. from the Harmon Funeral Home. Friends may call Sunday from 5 to 8 p.m. And Paul Leake of Whitehaven. Arrangements are pending from the Lehman Family Funeral Service. Tonight's obituaries have been brought to you by the Smilax Floral Shop, located on 15th Street in Hazleton. Free delivery to all local funeral homes. Call 570-454-0111. And by Mia's. Don't settle for second best when dining out. Discover Mia's new low-price dinner menu. And remember, there's always plenty of free gated parking behind the Markle Building.
SSPTV Sports on News 13 with Fred Barletta Jr. and Ron Marchetti.
Last high school football weekend in the month of October, week number 9. Here we go. Hard to believe, as we keep saying, the season just keeps flying right on by. And the question is, Can the Cougars get another elusive win? Because they have been very elusive so far. They go to East Stroudsburg South tonight, and it's certainly not going to be easy. East Stroudsburg South, one of the better teams in the Mountain Valley Conference, and so the Cougars have to show up with their A game. They showed it for a little bit last week against Valley West. Can they do it for 4 straight quarters? That's the question. We'll see what happens tonight. That one kicks off 7 o'clock up in the Poconos. Now go to the Schuylkill League, where Monoy, Schuylkill Haven, Marion, Jim Thorpe, North Schuylkill, Panther Valley, and Minersville, Tamaqua are your headline games. So we'll see what happens down in the Schuylkill League with some of those contests tonight. There's a couple of good ones there. Berwick, Coughlin, everybody's zooming in and saying, hey, you know, Coughlin, they had a pretty decent year. Can they stay with the Dogs? I don't think so. Berwick, on the road, I like them. We'll see what happens. Pittston, Valley West could be an interesting matchup. Dallas, Tunkhannock will not. Dallas should roll. You got William Allen at Pocono Mountain East. And speaking of Pocono Mountain West, they'll travel south toward Lehighton. On Saturday, North Pocono, Abington Heights, and Delaware Valley, Scranton Prep. Doesn't matter really what's going on up there because the showdown is coming up. It's going to be Abington Heights and Scranton in Week 10. We'll see what happens. District 2, let's get away from football and talk about some other sports, namely volleyball. How about the MMI Preppers? They hung on in a thriller, 3-2 sets over Mountain View. So MMI earns a date with Dunmore. That'll be next week. This is in the girls single A District 2 playoffs. Let's go to girls soccer, AAA level. Well, Hazleton area knows they're going to be playing Wallenpaupack if they win. Hazleton area plays Del Val today, and that one is up at Del Val. In the other half of the bracket, Williamsport upended Valley West, so it'll be Williamsport and Redeemer in the bottom half of the bracket. That one is next week, but the big question now, only question out there, Hazleton area or Delaware Valley. Now don't be confused, because this is now the boys, and you see basically the same matchup, Hazleton area and the Warriors of Del Val. That's going to be the nightcap tonight. The winner of that game will get the winner of Pittston and Wallenpaupack. The only thing for sure, Valley West advances. They knocked off North Pocono 2-0. They get the survivor of West Scranton and Abington Heights. Let's go to field hockey. AA, Crestwood rolls 6-0 over Wyoming area, and Seminary with a big win as they knock off Holy Redeemer. I guess you never count out a Karen Klausner team. Sem, Crestwood, we've seen that before. That's going to be the district final coming up next week. And if we go down to District 11, volleyball today, Northwestern, Lehigh, North Schuylkill. That's actually underway right now. So that's what we've got on our district playoff format. As far as the World Series, off day today. They head back to frosty Detroit. And the only thing that's a little bit cooler than the weather in the Motor City are the Detroit Tiger Bats. You know, remember, they didn't score a lot of runs against the Yankees, but you figured their pitching would carry them. Hasn't so far. Giants sweep the 2 games out in San Francisco. They need just 2 wins in the remaining 5 games, and they will be the world champions. National Football League. Nate Eachus back in business. They'll be playing the Oakland Raiders. The Eagles, off their bye week, host the undefeated Falcons. Steelers and the Washington Redskins, the New York Football Giants, are deep in the heart of Texas to take on Dallas. The American Hockey League, Rochester skates tonight right here against our Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. Hey, you know, you might want to start thinking about heating your home this winter. You could do it for less with American Premium Coal Sales. They offer locally mined quality anthracite at a very, very fair price. It's available for pickup or delivery. And you know, if you order 6 tons or more, you'll qualify for a $10 per ton discount. Now, want more information? You got to contact American Premium Coal Sales. There's the number. It's even toll-free if you're outside of the area. And they're there Monday through Friday, 7 to 4. There's their Saturday hours. Boy, can you beat good old-fashioned anthracite coal to heat your home.
Happy birthday to my grandson on his 20th birthday, Kyle Mahalik. And hi, everybody, on this last Friday in October. Welcome to Short Shots. There will be no local football games tonight. Both Hazelberry and Marion Catholic are on the road. But let me make 3 huge predictions right now. Number 1, the Cougars will win tonight. Number 2, Penn State will beat Ohio State tomorrow. And number 3, Notre Dame will lose its first game of the season in Norman, Oklahoma, decisively tomorrow night. 3 for 3, 2 for 3, 1 for 3, or 0 for 3. Which will it be? I'll give you the results on Monday night. In the meantime, let's wrap up this past week. Hazen area lost to Wyoming Valley West 42-14, which included a 50-minute rain and lightning delay in the 4th quarter. Same thing happened in hometown, except the game was suspended till Saturday. At that time, it was stopped. The Colts trailed 14-7 to Shenandoah Valley. Play resumed on Saturday with just under 7 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. After Shen Val kicked the field goal to go up by 10, 17-7, Marion scored 2 quick touchdowns within 3 minutes to take the lead, which they held for a 21-17 win during their homecoming weekend. Corey Quick finished that game with 225 yards passing and 2 TDs while running for a 3rd, by far his best game. Eric Swankowski finished with 4 catches for $137. One of those was a 72-yard TD. Penn State looked nothing short of awesome against Iowa. Notre Dame grounded out a hard-earned win over BYU despite missing 2 chip shot field goals. At the moment, Bama is number 1, Oregon is number 2, Florida is number 3, and Kansas State is number 4. Notre Dame is number 5, but that's going to change by Sunday. What else? Lance Armstrong's fall is now complete. He has been stripped of his 7 Tour de France titles and has been banned from any cycling competition for life. John Farrell was hired by the Boston Red Sox as new manager. Ozzie Guillen has been fired by the Florida Marlins, which was no surprise. Ozzie has done a horrible job. The Marlins were supposed to contend this past season. Instead, they lost 97 games. Mother of God. The walking man, that's what they call him, Eddie Yost. 3rd baseman for the Washington Senators in the 50s, who led the league in walks for 5 seasons, died at the age of 86. Also at age 86, Slater Martin died this week. He was the point guard for George Mikan with the Minneapolis Lakers in the 50s while winning 4 NBA championships along with Mikan. And finally, congratulations to the Hazen area Cougars and Lady Cougars, who both won cross-country district championships. It was the Cougars girls' first CC championship in 7 years, and behind Jacob Fetterman and Tyler Pecora, who finished 1st and 2nd, the Hazen area boys won their first title in 12 years. Don't forget my 3 predictions. If I'm 0 for 3, I will eat crow on Monday. Till then, be a good sport. Stay loose.
Ready, set, sprint. Students at Holy Family Academy were exercising, all for education. Friday's health activity called Sprint for Education allowed the children to have some fun, all while raising money for their school.
The goal is $15,000. If we reach that goal, our principal, Mrs. Kosick, is going to be dyeing her hair, the school colors.
And if they reach $20,000, all the students get to cover the principal in silly string. The community's response has made this event extremely successful. Well, we talked about it earlier. The track of Hurricane Sandy is still uncertain. However, it's looking like the strong storm could make a direct hit on Pennsylvania. We do not need to be concerned about Sandy over the next 24 hours in terms of flooding, wind, damage. However, it's time to start preparing. So as we look to next week's weather, let's enjoy the weekend as much as possible as we start in Schuylkill County. For the rest of tonight, we do see a little breeze out there and a low down to 53. Tomorrow we'll see it'll be a foggy start to our Saturday, but then all in all, mostly cloudy skies in Schuylkill County on Saturday, and your temp rises to 65 degrees. Lots of playground pictures lately from our talented students who bring us creative conditions. Tonight's artwork comes to us from Morgan Smith from the West Hazelton Elementary School. Let's see if kids will be able to hit the playgrounds this weekend before Hurricane Sandy's anticipated arrival. For tonight, we'll see mostly cloudy skies, temp dips to 49, and then Saturday, slight chance of some showers. All in all, pretty much a cloudy day, and we reach 59 degrees. All right, coming up on News 13, more on Hazleton Mayor Joe Iannuzzi's decision to pull rank and appoint a new city administrator, the same man he wanted for the job before City Council voted the appointment down. We'll be right back. Following the retirement of Hazleton's administrator comes an executive order from Mayor Joe Iannuzzi. More on his decision to appoint Steve Hahn to the position is coming up right now.
From the Samson Production Studios in the heart of Hazleton, Pennsylvania, it's your News 13.
Hi everyone, thanks for staying with us tonight. I'm Kristen Bazinski. Hazleton's mayor has used his executive authority to name a new city administrator. He says Steve Hahn is the man for the job. Our Jasmine Brooks reports.
I will clean it for Steve before he gets in here, but it's just been crazy.
This is Mary Ellen Lieb's last day on the job. For the past 4 years, she's been the city administrator for Hazleton. She's leaving for personal reasons, but City Council couldn't decide how to replace her. At a meeting last Thursday, Mayor Joe Iannuzzi nominated Director of Hazleton's Public Transit, Steve Hahn, to fill the position. But the idea was shot down in a 3-2 vote. That forced the mayor to take things into his own hands.
So I decided to appoint him as acting director and then renominate him at the next meeting, which will be November 8th.
Mayor Iannuzzi says he made the move because without a city administrator, the city wouldn't be able to accomplish a lot of things it needs to get done.
Everything goes through the administrator, even the signing of checks for payroll for any accounts payable.
Iannuzzi says he needs a person in the position right now, and Hahn is most qualified.
If you ever saw his resume, you'll see that he was in Butler Township as their administrator. He was called the manager there, but it's the same difference here.
Hahn took the position here at Public Transit just months ago, and with the new job will come big responsibilities, considering in just days, City Council will be presented a new budget.
I'm really going to have to jump right in. The budget was prepared by Mary Ellen and the mayor and the staff members, and I'm going to have to really study up because starting Monday, the budget's going to be presented to council a few days after that, so there's a lot to learn.
Hahn expects ups and downs to come with his new position, but hopes to move the city of Hazleton ahead.
I would hope that the city council and the mayor and all of the various departments in the city are going to be able to find ways to work more closely together. There's been a lot of division on the council lately, and I would hope that's something that repairs itself fairly soon.
Mayor Iannuzzi has also used his powers to appoint Ralph Sharp as acting director of transit. The new positions still have to be approved by City Council. That vote will come on November 8th.
It's hard to tell in that position what's going to happen any given day, any given hour. There are things that come up that have to be dealt with, so it should be very exciting.
Reporting for News 13, Jasmine Brooks, Hazleton.
Well, if you're a taxpayer in the Hazleton Area School District, you're getting a little break. There won't be any property tax increase next year. That's because the district's business manager, Tony Reba, recommended that the school board use part of a district surplus left over from last year's overestimated contribution to a budget line item that pays pension and health care for retired district workers. The $3.5 million will be rolled over from last year's budget, and that means there won't be a tax increase. Recent budget cuts to funding for the United Rehabilitation Services, or URS, could mean the loss of hundreds of jobs for people in our area. URS held a meeting Thursday night to ask the families of employees for their help during this time of need. The URS provides training and employment opportunities for people with disabilities in Wilkes-Barre, Tunkhannock, and right here in Hazleton. The budget cuts are leaving the URS with over $630,000 worth of debt. Now consumers and their families are asking the community for help.
Please write letters to the governor, to the Secretary of the Department of Public Welfare, as well as to their elected officials.
I'll be devastated if anything happened here, so we're hoping for the best.
It's the best thing for them out in the real world.
And you love it here?
Yes, I do.
To help the URS, you can contact or write a letter to your elected officials, representatives, and senators to ask them to block the budget cuts to human service groups. State Senator Rafael Musto will go to trial next month, although his lawyers and a medical expert told the court he's not up to it. Musto's lawyers had told the court that the former senator was too ill and frail to withstand a trial on charges that he accepted tens of thousands of dollars in services in cash in response for supporting several projects. Now you're looking at video from 2010 when he was arraigned on those charges. Federal Judge Richard Caputo now says he believes that measures such as taking breaks and having medical personnel on hand will allow him to get through the trial. He ordered jury selection to begin on November 26th. Earlier this week, Musto showed up in court unassisted for his arraignment on additional charges. The Greater Hazleton League of Women Voters hopes that a debate set for next week between incumbent State Representative Tara Toohill and her Democratic challenger, Ransom Young, is all about the issues and not accusations. The league is aiming for a positive twist on the debate happening right here on News 13 SSPTV next Monday night. Bottom line, the league says the race for the 116th district is an important one, and the people deserve to know fact and learn where the candidates stand on issues, in return giving voters that spark to head to the polls on Election Day.
We're hoping that it doesn't turn into a negative attack ad, and we hope that Ransom brings to the table the things that he's going to do, what he's going to bring to the job, and that Tara does the same as well. But it's very critical. There's a lot of issues that are very timely and need to be addressed by both these candidates. So we're hoping that, you know, through the questions, through the panelists, that we can find out what they each stand for.
Now, the showdown will be live starting at 6 Monday night only on Channel 13. Each candidate will be given 2 minutes to present an opening statement and then will be presented with questions regarding energy, economics, education, and more. Well, there's no age limit to celebrating Halloween, and some spirited senior citizens proved that at a Boo Bash. We'll take you there. And prepping for Frankenstorm. A strong storm is creeping up the coast and could haunt us just in time for Halloween. Plus, many might be sprinting from the storm next week, but today youngsters were sprinting for their school. We'll stop at Holy Family Academy coming up on News 13. Bloomsburg, we'll get to that story in just a minute, but first we want to hear from Sam Lassant, who has a very important show coming up this evening. He welcomes Congressman Lou Barletta along with well-known physician Dr. Victor Greco, and here is a preview. Sam?
Thank you. Well, folks, we had Dr. Greco on the show, tremendous success, but a lot of you had some additional questions and concerns. Well, I brought Dr. Greco back. And guess who else I brought back? I brought back Congressman Lou Barletta to talk about facts, only facts, folks. You'll learn a lot more. And is the Congress to blame for the economy today? And did Mr. Barletta do what he said he was going to do? I want you also to know that I've contacted Mr. Stelp at least 5 or 6 times to ask him to come on the show. He said he would be coming on the show. I haven't heard from him yet. I also would invited Planned Parenthood many times to come on the show. They have not come on the show. So, folks, I'm trying to give equal time, but you judge. November 6th, folks, your life depends on it. The future of your country depends on it. Please check the facts and watch this show with Dr. Greco and Lou Barletta. You're going to be quite surprised some of the things you're going to hear. Now, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Sam. Looking forward to the show, and you can also catch it at SSPTV.com. Moving on, Bloomsburg is taking some precautionary measures this time around, especially after last year's flooding. Today, Governor Tom Corbett, along with PEMA Director Glenn Cannon, visited Bloomsburg to tour businesses in the area to check up on recovery efforts. It was a little over a year ago when the governor was flying over Bloomsburg to view the devastation left behind by Tropical Storm Lee. PEMA Director Cannon and the governor answered some questions about emergency improvements that have been made since last year's flood and how prepared they feel now that Hurricane Sandy may become a threat to our area.
We learned a lot of lessons and we've made a lot of improvements. We think that, you know, last year was historic in terms of disasters for Pennsylvania.
We're watching the storms. We're in constant contact with the National Weather Service.
The governor also toured some other parts of our area today, including 40 Forts Levee area, the West Pittston area, which does not have flood protection and was inundated by floodwaters from the Susquehanna River. Sandy may sound like a sweet name, but not when it's attached to a major hurricane, which is barreling right in our direction. While hurricane forecasters still are not quite sure exactly where Hurricane Sandy will track, the closer we get to her arrival early Tuesday, the more likely it appears that she will pass through at least a portion of northeastern Pennsylvania. Experts say that Sandy is a hybrid storm, which will pack heavy winds, plenty of rain, and perhaps even snow if she runs into colder temperatures. They're warning that everyone along her path be ready to deal with flooding and power outages. The American Red Cross has these suggestions to make it through the storm safely. Build a storm emergency kit, which should include a 3-day supply of water per person, plenty of non-perishable food, flashlights, a battery-operated radio, and a first aid kit. They also recommend you find out what the emergency plan is for your local community in case of flooding or a prolonged power outage, and make sure everyone in your family knows about it. And they say don't forget to make plans to take care of your pets should there be an emergency. For more tips on how to get through the storm, make sure you log on to redcross.org. And as we prepare for Sandy, let's also prepare for the calm before the storm. It's Friday and the weekend has arrived. We are looking at a clear Saturday so far for the most part. Starting first in Schuylkill County tonight, mostly cloudy skies, 53 will be our low. Your 4-day outlook goes like this. Saturday, sun will make an appearance. Slight chance of, some clouds, maybe a drizzle here and there. 65 will be our high. But then look at that, folks. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, rain, and we are dipping to the low 40s by Tuesday and into the low 30s at nighttime by Tuesday as well. And by Monday night, that rain could be very heavy. And a shout out to Morgan Smith tonight, a student at the West Hazleton School. She provided us with this creative condition showing a sunny sky and some fun on the playground. And for Hazleton, folks look for mostly cloudy skies for tonight. And then your 4-day outlook. Slight chance of some showers on Saturday. It will be mostly cloudy, high near 59. Saturday night showers are likely and a low down to 44. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, it looks like rain, possibly even some snow mixing in with that rain on Tuesday evening as we pay close attention to Hurricane Sandy. We are dipping to 40 by Tuesday, a low of 34 by Tuesday evening. Sand Springs Country Club serving great dinner specials. Grilled Philly steak and cheese tonight, $8.95. All their meals come with soup or salad, and they also have great appetizers. So make sure you stop by Sand Springs Country Club, 10 Clubhouse Drive in Drums, 788-5845, or sandspringsgolf.com, or find them on Facebook. Ready, set, sprint. Students at Holy Family Academy were exercising all for education. Friday's healthy activity called Sprint for Education allowed the children to have some fun, all while raising money for their school.
The goal is $15,000. If we reach that goal, our principal, Mrs. Kosick, is going to be dyeing her hair, the school colors.
And if they reach 20,000, all the students get to cover the principal in silly string. The community's response has made this event extremely successful. Freddie B wraps up the week with a recap of action from on and off the field. Sports is next. And we end tonight with proof that you do not have to be a youngster to celebrate the Halloween holiday. Seniors saying boo next. Who says you have to be in elementary school to have a Halloween parade? The young at heart folks who are members of the Hazleton Senior Center never need encouragement to have fun, and today they shredded their stuff in the spirit of the holiday. Prizes were awarded for the best costumes, but nobody left empty-handed. The big party included plenty of Halloween treats, and of course, there was plenty of music, and whether in costume or not, everyone was invited to cut a rug. and they looked pretty good doing it. That does it for us tonight. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day and a part of your week, of course. If you'd like to catch this newscast again, you can many times throughout tonight, or go to our website, SSPTV.com. That's where you're going to find everything Greater Hazleton, Schuylkill County, and beyond. It's all just a click away. On behalf of all of us here at News 13, be safe. See you back here on Monday. Have a good weekend. Good night.